This meeting is being held in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act of the State of New Jersey. Notice of time and place of this meeting was published in the annual meeting calendar and was posted on the bulletin board by the City Clerk on March 19th, 2025. The 2025 meeting calendar was published in legal advertisements in the Jersey Journal and the Star Ledger in December 2024. Additional notice of this meeting was faxed to the Bergen Record, the Trenton Times, and the Star Ledger on March 19th, 2025. Let's see. I think the first thing on our agenda is usually the Pledge of Allegiance. So, Commissioner Faley, would you please lead us in the pledge? Lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. If anyone has not had an opportunity to read the minutes from the last meeting, please turn to that now and do that now, and we will give you an opportunity. Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Faley, I'm sorry. I'm a little I'm out of order today because things are happening that I didn't expect today. Would you do the roll call, please?
Okay. Commissioner Driscoll is absent. Commissioner Glover is absent. Commissioner Holevac.
Present.
Commissioner McGady.
Present.
Commissioner Valdado is absent. Alternate Commissioner Wolian.
Present.
Alternate Commissioner Nowak is absent. Secretary Ryan.
Here.
And our Consul, Dave Ravicheski.
Present.
Chairman, we have, Mr. Chairman Witten-Nowicki, we have a quorum.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Faley. As I said before, let's take a look at the minutes and see if anyone has anything they want to change or add. I do have a couple of things I want to ask Dr. Ryan about, but I'll wait until the rest of you have a chance to go through it. Keep reading, and I'll give Dr. Ryan the ones that I found. Dr. Ryan, on page 2, paragraph 2, could you put Benmore Terrace and Roosevelt Terrace, or Benmore, Roosevelt, and Wesley Court? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if maybe I didn't say it, and it's not on the tape, but what I was trying to imply is Benmore and Roosevelt Terrace are from the Bennett estate, and Wesley Court is the Fuller estate. Commissioner McCady, did you want to say something? No? Okay. Okay. I am now, of course, looking for where did Lincoln Parkway come from, because I'm not sure, and I'm wondering if that's yet another estate that was up there, or because that's just before these other three. So that's on page 2. On page 3, on the back cover, it should be, it's not Curtis Longyear, it's Arthur Curtis Longyear. That's in the 1, 2, 3, 4th paragraph. Arthur Curtis Longyear was the architect. Okay. And of course, that's the same architect as the bank building on 33rd and Broadway that just came down.
Yes.
Okay. And if you wanted, it's up to you, because the one-time bank building served for many years as the City Hall Annex for tax records. I don't know if you want to include that.
It served.
More than just that?
Yeah, it's the mayor's office some of the time.
Okay, then I would just leave it that way then. Okay, anyone else have anything they want corrected or changed or modified or enhanced? Take another minute to look at it. Does anyone want to make a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, anyone-
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And there we go. Okay, Dr. Ryan, you traditionally lead us through the correspondence, so whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll begin with the original packet and then go to the supplement I handed out tonight. There's one comment sheet at the tail end of the original packet, had to do with 9-11 Ayers Court, which was really a no comment. Then going to the first part of the supplementary packet, there was another no comment or no objection on 562-568 Broadway. Same thing again on 211-217 Broadway. Now, we have a couple of additional ones that need to be acted on this evening. There is one, an application by J&J Builders. It's an east side multi-lot property, 108 Avenue F, 104-106 Avenue F, 94-102 Avenue F, and 101 East 21st Street. And if you flip the page over, there's a statement of the applicant and there's a rendering. What's essentially happening there is a proposal to build an apartment building on what's partly an empty property, and part of it was the Sampson tank cleaning industrial property. And the proposed building would be supported by 120 parking spaces for 110 units. So it meets the general parking standard here of at least one space per unit. So that's the first one that action is needed on. And then a second one, J&J Builders again, 22 East 11th Street. There's a vacant lot with a proposal to construct the building that's shown there in the rendering. And the proposal is to construct a home, 3,400 square feet, with 2 3-bedroom units that'll be supported by 3 on-site parking spaces. So that would be 2 applications to comment on if there are any comments.
This correct one here with the this drawing, this is going to be in the spot where the old bank used to be, across from the post office?
This is east side property.
Avenue F.
Avenue F and vicinity. Avenue F and then East 21st Street.
Oh, the applicant, 562 Broadway, that's 562 Broadway.
Yeah, there's some entities that are created to be redevelopers, and it'll sometimes say, you know, XYZ Street LLC, and first they'll do XYZ Street, and then they'll do ABC Street, but keep the same company name, so it can get a little confusing.
Okay, because the other lot is 562 Broadway is where is that corner empty lot, that's why I thought they were going to build that. Is there anything, I guess nothing's ever going to be designed on that lot yet?
That's going to be a 9-story apartment house.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
And this is going to go, let's see, this is,
Several lots on Avenue F and then East 21st Street.
this is, oh, I see.
108, 104-106, 94-102 Avenue F, and then 101 East 21st Street.
Quite a big building.
Then the other property in question is a lot easier, 22 East 11th Street.
Did you see an issue with this at all, Commissioner Cady?
These buildings are, oh, is this where those two buildings were torn down? Next to the, that, right near the bagel shop? These two buildings don't exist anymore. They were torn down. They were damaged, I guess, during Sandy. So maybe this is going to be built in that big lot. Because they have a lot across the street, too.
It's a vacant lot as of right now. It's a vacant lot, and it's like across the street from the bagel place.
Oh, that's the lot that you've been working on. I noticed they, when I go to the bagel in the morning, it's been all dirt. Okay, that's where they're going to do, where this, that tannish building used to be, this building here. That was also damaged during Sandy, because you can see it's all boarded up on the first floor.
Yeah.
And they had, okay. That's where they're going to build this?
Yes.
Well, do you think there's anything of significance in that block, in that area? No.
They tore all those, there was like three
Yeah.
buildings there that they were all damaged.
Yeah, they were by the storm, yeah.
I remember seeing it, and then one day I went to get a bagel, and
They were gone, yes.
kind of like that bank.
Yeah. Well, that I wanted to question, because I thought that had come before us, the bank, and I don't think it said they were going to knock it down.
We're,
Mixing apples and oranges.
can we get to that separately?
Sure, sure.
I'd like to deal with
Does
the,
anyone have an issue with these two?
I have no objection.
Neither do I.
okay.
Looks like they're our standard response. Okay.
And then moving on to 22 East 11th Street, any objection to that, that house that's proposed?
I have no objection, and it's good to see a two-family house being built.
Okay, is everyone okay with that? No, either no comment or no objection? Okay.
No comment.
Now, do you want to go back and talk about the other building? I think it might be a research issue, because I don't think we...
I can tell you what apparently happened. The developer brought in heavy equipment, and in the process of knocking down the adjoining building, allegedly it destabilized 734 Broadway, the former bank building that they had promised to save, and that's allegedly why it came down. I discovered this Monday evening, and it started a number of phone calls with city officials. The city met with the developer and his attorney, and the city has intervened to save large numbers of bricks from the demolition site with a view towards incorporating them into the building that is to be constructed on site.
Okay, that's something at least. I don't remember if there was any plaque or anything inside the lobby of that building. I don't remember. Does anyone else know or remember?
I don't think there was any plaque.
Okay. Again, that was Arthur Curtis Longyear, and the other building that sticks in my mind that he designed was the Mechanics Trust Bank.
And I think also the former police and fire headquarters.
Yes, but
Yep.
that's been long gone.
Yep.
So maybe the last one we have, well, other than houses, there are other houses that Longyear designed, and he was quite prolific and was from upstate New York, and did do a lot of work, and was a well-known architect in the New York metropolitan area. Anyway, if there's nothing else, so we will go to updates on historic properties. Commissioner Holloway, do you want to say anything about St. Andrews or 107 North Street?
Well, 17 North Street is still a work in process.
But what about St. Andrews? No, nothing to report?
Well, City Council did designate St. Andrews as a historic site.
Right, but does that mean that you are finished with St. Andrews completely at this point?
No, not completely.
Okay, what is left to do?
There was talk about the city-owned building to landmark that, so I've been researching that.
Okay, I think there was some confusion about that, and at one point you said to let Commissioner Driscoll go ahead with it.
No, I didn't. That was the confusion.
Oh, well, I'll get back to her, but I think she finished it weeks ago, but I'll check. Anyway, anything else? No? Okay, that's on historic. Any other business? Does anyone have anything new that they want to look at landmarking or anything else?
Mr. Chairman, you had asked me to check about Forrester Place. I checked a few old maps, and at least thus far, I haven't found it. That doesn't mean it existed or didn't exist, just I personally haven't found it yet.
Okay. I'm working with the library, and they're going to search the newspapers. They have a way of looking through them. So we might be able to come up for a first time it appeared as a street. Okay. You know, and that might help. There seem to be lots of foresters in Hudson County, and that they were involved as firemen, policemen, all sorts of things, but nothing that explains who the ones were downtown Bayonne. So that remains a mystery. The other thing was Lincoln Parkway. I've noticed that that's adjacent to Wesley Court and to Benmore and Roosevelt Terrace, and therefore I'm looking for when did that start? When did that come into play? And whose estate, you know, what was there before it? I'm trying to keep the spreadsheet. I think Frank? No, I meant Mr. William?
Yes,
Hi, did you see the spreadsheet? You've got?
I did. I took a look at the spreadsheet.
Okay, and I've been updating it with adding things from the CRCG report, you know, because some of the things already had like an opinion from, or they had some status where CRCG said, you should take a look at this. This might be worth landmarking. So I don't know what you wanted to do with this going forwards. So if you want to put together something where you know, can come back and tell us about it. Also, if you have an idea about how you would do, what we had a problem with in the past was the commissioners had issue with how would we create the standards for a district. For example, you have a set of about 20 houses originally down on 8th Street on the east and west sides of the boulevard, and like they were all mansard houses. So would you say certain colors? Would you say, you know, not to modify the mansard roofs, not to modify the doors? You know, what is it we would put into anything if we were trying to keep a district look like a district? And there are different ones there. You know, you have the row houses in the 30s. You have the mansard houses in 8th Street. You have different things in different places. The more modern ones that are from the 20s, and I say modern, but I'm talking about the 1920s and the 1930s, are really significantly beautiful homes on Benmore Terrace, et cetera. You know, why have we never landmarked one of them? Especially, there's a whole bunch of them that are visible from the shore, you know, as you're coming over to Bayonne, and they make a splendid presence along Newark Bay. Maybe we should be looking at some of them. Anyway, so I did that as a way of like opening the door, et cetera. Dr. Ryan, is there anything else, any other area in Bayonne that we should be looking at? Because normally we had input from the planning board, and I can't remember when we last heard from them about it.
It's been a while. In terms of estates, I do have a map from the 1870s that does show who owned which properties. So I could check at that and see if we can ascertain which estate would have been the predecessor of Lincoln Parkway, if you'd like.
Yeah. I think the Bennett estate was north of it. And north of that, I think, was the Fuller estate. And then there was the block that was street named, you know, just the street adjacent to the park. That didn't seem to have an estate name tied to it. Lincoln, I don't know. I don't know how far back that could go.
I'm not sure, but of course, any deed would have in it, the chain of ownership. If we went
Yeah.
back, if we needed to pick a particular property, we could trace it back if we had to.
Okay. Anyone else have anything else that you want us to consider as new business? If not, I think that takes us to, when is our next meeting, Commissioner?
Our next meeting is on April 29th, which is a Tuesday, at 7 PM here in the council chambers.
Okay, thank you. I can't hear you. And she's been here many times. I don't think, we have one guest in our audience. I don't know if do you have anything you wish to say tonight? Or no, okay. And you've been here several times. We thank you again for your interest in monitoring what's going on and being a good watch for us. Thank you. If there's nothing else, do we hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Good night. Thank you, home audience, and see you next month.